神羅転生
Yo, what's going on everyone? It is the Mist again, and welcome back to another Boruto episode review on the channel today. Episode 43 just came out, and my god, Boruto is starting to become a series that really is starting to go in the direction that made me love Naruto, like the original Naruto. The way they are telling the story is just amazing, and this episode was really showcasing that we are moving in a new direction, and it's just looking good. The future is looking bright, and this is going to be a nice long arc with risks, with danger, and we are getting something new. Awesome character design for the new kid that was introduced. He obviously has a Kikai Genkai, and you know, he's got a relationship with Shikarai forming, so Shikarai is going to have a massive role in this, as we saw in this episode. And my god, I want to talk about the preview, but firstly we have to discuss this epic episode. So I had a lot of high expectations going into this episode, and to be honest, I was kind of on the verge of getting a bit mad if this episode didn't live up to those expectations, because I really just want the series to be incredible, and this episode really just showcased to me that Boruto can be so great. And this, like I just said, the episode was incredible, guys. Let's actually start getting into it, because I'm just rambling right now. But essentially, we start the episode off with Boruto, mainly Boruto anyways, focusing on the Byakuya gang, and, you know, he doesn't agree with what they do, he doesn't accept them, he doesn't like them, because obviously they steal. He doesn't really understand why yet, of course. So then, him and Team 7 decide, well, we aren't going to be able to figure this out on our own. I mean, we ain't going to be able to tell the adults about this, but we kind of have to do this ourselves. We kind of have to just do this. And they go to KATASUKE's laboratory, and oh my god, it was cool to see KATASUKE in this episode. If you're gonna judge me for the way I say KATASUKE, then just leave me alone. Just leave, please. I don't care about how his name sounds in the dub. I honestly do not care. But anyways, they go to KATASUKE's laboratory, and obviously he's trying to create some more ninja technology. I do not think he's in the Genjutsu yet. He does not seem to be in the Genjutsu. I won't touch any more on that because I don't want to spoil anything major. But I do not think he is, but the way they introduced him in this episode was they gave him more of a goofy undertone, you know, like kinda humorous, and the way they're doing that is perfect, because it's gonna give the impression that he is innocent and he isn't like a bad quote-unquote person. You know, he's a goofy guy, he respects Boruto, but obviously stuff happens in the movie and in the manga. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say in case people haven't seen those two things. But so they did a very good job. Now people may say they did a terrible job, but it's all from a writer's point of view. It all makes sense. Why? Because you want to make a big reveal. You know, you introduce a character one way, and then they turn out to be a different person entirely. So that was amazing how they introduced his character. It was cool to see him. And then anyway, so what they found out. Okay, so what they did was went to KATASUKE's laboratory to find out more about ice style jutsu. And he asked them, you know, a question, because essentially the safe that the Byakuya gang broke into, there was essentially a place where, like, if the temperature went up by any portion at all, an alarm would go off. So Sarada figured out, you know, this has to be someone who can down their body temperature to match the safe's room, the safe's room's temperature. Otherwise, there's just no way this could have even happened. So that's where they go, and KATASUKE says, yep, someone can do that, and you know, that's where it all started. So then they go to this special little town where it's like the black market. I am loving how they are introducing this world building stuff, you know, with all these little parts of Konoha that we've never seen before. This was a good example. It's like where the black market is, you know, illegal trade, special trades, stuff where you can't get anything else, find it anywhere else, you get it at this little black market area. So it was cool to see that. But they go there and they see that there's a message on a wall that says go to this place to buy the gems we stole or whatever. So essentially it was the message from the robbers, from the Byakuya gang, saying meet at this location and you can buy our gems, the things that we stole from this place, from this bank area or whatever. So that's what they do. They go all I can say is that we on YouTube, well, people got trolled majorly, because if you don't remember, I made a video a few days ago discussing what the caped figure could have been. And oh my god, all the YouTubers that said it was Kawaki or he was a member of Kara just got absolutely destroyed. Guess what was, guys? It was Boruto and Mitsuki. Honestly, I couldn't help but laugh to myself when that happened, because these people were speculating that it was going to be Kara or Kawaki. Of course, I made a video about it, but I was heavily saying it's definitely not going to be one of them. I said there was possibilities, but why would a Kara member be there? Back to the point though. So yeah, they go to the location and Boruto and Mitsuki, like, you know, they do the classic disguise, one person on the other person's shoulders, put the cape over, and it was Boruto and Mitsuki. So they go and they try to buy the stuff. Oh, one thing I want to bring up before this is the fact that Shikarai's character was handled wonderfully in this episode. And when I say wonderfully, I mean he, as a character, he has got a special dynamic, and that is the fact that he is far more mature than his peers. And I feel like as a character, he just has a little bit more of a dimension to him than Shikamaru did when he was a kid. We get to see more of what he thinks, I think, with Shikarai, and I'm loving that. And I like that they focused on him in this episode, and he went to meet this kid, obviously, who's going to be one of the main antagonists of the arc, and they played Shoji together. So that was cool to see, obviously, because Shikarai saved an idiot kid that was walking around with a paper bomb, and, you know, the antagonist kid saw what he did and was like, you know what, I'm interested in this guy, I'm gonna go play Shoji with you, bro. And that's what happened. Back to the point though, I just wanted to say that quickly. So as I was saying, Boruto and Mitsuki, they go, and Sarada of course, but Boruto and Mitsuki were in the disguise. They go to buy this stuff off of this guy, and it turns out that he sent in a decoy, and he was essentially just going to kill this guy if they moved at all. They got out of that situation, and this antagonist kid led them to a village, and this is where something beautiful about the episode happens. And I like the way they do this, because one thing this episode did was challenge Boruto's morals and beliefs, and I'll get more into that in a second. So they arrive at this village, a very poor village that has had their water system break, and they can't get water. They don't have water, and it takes for like 3 kilometers for them to get near a water source. And the antagonist kid essentially says, the rich steal from the poor, we're just taking back, we're just giving to them because of what you guys do. You guys live in luxury. Look at what these people have to deal with. Can you argue against me when you live in luxury? And I've shown you what these people go through. So with the money that he got from selling the gems, he managed to fix the water system for this village, and it starts up, and the whole village is happy. And this is where Boruto's morals are challenged, because here he is thinking, these guys are bad, they steal, stealing is bad. But then he sees these people happy, these villagers happy, because this theft has been used in a good way. It's been used to help people, and it really does raise a good point. Like Shikarai says, you know, black and white and all that type of stuff. Is there a grey area? Is it just black and white? Whatever. So Boruto is sitting there confused, and he just can't handle it, because obviously his morals are being challenged. And that's what I like about Boruto. He has strict beliefs, so when they get challenged, it annoys him. He has to think about it. He doesn't like being challenged. Boruto is the type of character that strictly is very arrogant and ignorant, and he likes to believe what he wants to. So when he has his own morals challenged, he likes to sit there and he likes to, you know, he questions himself. He questions whether he's right or not. And that's what we see happen, because Konohamaru even comes up to him and says, listen here, Boruto, you know, don't go off on your own, but also don't be so depressed, because this, you know, after 1 or 2 failures, you know, you don't need to be depressed. You don't have enough experience yet to be depressed, dude. Like, you're still beginning. You don't need to be depressed about this. But obviously, it wasn't because he failed. It was because his morals have been challenged, and now he doesn't know whether or not these guys, the Byakuya gang, are good or bad. It's an internal conflict, and that is perfect for this arc. Because throughout this entire arc, it is going to be an internal struggle of Boruto trying to figure out whether these guys are good or bad, whether they steal or not. They are still robbers, and they have to take these guys down. But I mean, it's just a very, very good story plotline that they're going to follow throughout this arc, and I really like that they are focusing on Shikarai. And honestly, the episode was just actually very decent. I really liked it. Like, I'm serious. I enjoyed this episode a lot because it felt like the route that they took with Naruto, you know? Like, it gave that vibe. It gave that type of vibe. And whenever Boruto does that, it does incredible. Why? Because Kishimoto had this certain vibe about him when he wrote, and they captured that vibe in this episode, which I respect. I'm not trying to say this episode is good because it felt like it was Naruto. No, I'm saying it had the vibe that we all enjoyed as fans. That's what I mean, and that's what made this episode so great, that they captured that feeling that makes us feel like we're invested in this and we want to know what happens. They introduced the 2 new antagonists, and damn, in the preview we get to see a lot of people, and this is a big threat because Temari, a Jonin, is involved, and we can hear her talking in the preview to Shikarai and maybe some others as well, and she's battling as well. She's battling. But now what I want to talk about, because you guys know I love Iwabe so much. Okay guys, god damn it. We might be seeing some massive Iwabe development soon, because in the preview, I'll show you right now, Middle Lee gets involved, and Iwabe is shown probably the most throughout this preview, by the way. So they're shown in the preview, and Middle Lee tries to take on the gang, the Byakuya gang, some members that we do not know yet, and he gets hospitalized, guys. Middle Lee gets hospitalized, and then it shows Iwabe, it shows his pants with, you know, him clenching his fists, indicating that obviously Iwabe is filled with rage, and that he is gonna avenge Middle Lee within this arc, meaning that we are gonna see some Iwabe action, which I am just so hyped for, because I want to say I was correct. My thoughts were perfectly correct. I said in the podcast of Biju that, you know, they are probably going to focus on every single team within this arc, because we're moving into the Momoshiki arc, and what better time to do it than now, to focus on every team in one single arc, go through each of the teams, develop them somewhat, especially the main members of that team, because it's going to be important for the Chunin exams, and essentially just give us some more development for these characters. And that's what they're doing. We've got Shikarai, next episode will be Iwabe, some Middle Lee, maybe some Denki as well, of course, and then maybe 4 episodes later we'll have Sumere's team. So I am loving this, guys. This is feeling like, this is giving me such a good vibe. I am extremely excited for this arc, and let me know what you guys think, because people may have found this episode somewhat boring for the first 10 minutes, but it was literally the build-up episode for this entire massive, insane arc, and I am just absolutely loving it, guys. Alright, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would give this episode a solid 8 out of 10. 100% an 8 out of 10 for this episode. It was very good. You know, not every episode needs to be focused on just action. This did a perfect job at character interaction, character development, world building, etc. Anyways, like I said, let me know what you think of it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and of course subscribe if you are new to help the channel grow, because I would highly appreciate it, guys. Help us grow, and of course leave a like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. See you later, guys.